Well, what do you think?
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place. But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Remarkable technology, isn't it? I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful. Here's a thought experiment for you. Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy. Would you get it? You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human. Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count somehow. What a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away, and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately. I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer. Oh, forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
I'm okay.
The Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff. Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh? If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I? I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before. There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of, obsolete. And to think Rainer wanted nothing to do with this.
He didn't think it was possible.
Rainer's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important. He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness? He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy. All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them. It's better if a small startup takes the fall, if public opinion turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing. Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though. If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing, paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Rainer wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Yes. Yes, I do. It's quite the accusation, I know. Not something I'd come out and say in public, not yet, anyway. But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now.
Basically, what you missed, this guy is trying to make a machine that'll make people happy and only happy. And like, devoid other emotions, like sadness, anger, and all that shit. Meanwhile, he suspects the other guy, the rich guy, is purposefully making people miserable so that they like buy more of his products and shit. And now he's trying to justify shit.
The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system. Excuse me for 1 second.
Fucking drunk.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
I get it, but you don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing. I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity. What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights. Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we'd be nothing. A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it. None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien. He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back, nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism. It happened, and now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time. But you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn. I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic. But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself.
No shit.
I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway. I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist. The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
That's not a good motivation.
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Raynor, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that. So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Nice. Now it's this guy again.
Hello, Harriman.
Yes, we can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that. What brings you here today? It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I slept with Sylvia. To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here. A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked and talked, and then everything just happened. Like a train following tracks laid out for it years ago.
Okay, so why are you here then?
Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen? And also, why did it happen? I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person? I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what. It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before.
Yeah, that happens.
I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do? What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
You're asking AI for relationship advice. That's not a good thing, alright?
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem.
Okay.
Is that too stuffy? I don't want to appear like some ridiculous court noble. Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know.
Speed.
I don't know what our status is right now. there's another problem too. Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz? Wait, of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her.
Who the fuck is
Did I
Liz?
mention this last time? I have a sort of girlfriend.
Ah, of course.
Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment. Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and... I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz. I'm not sure that's possible, though, right?
Not really. No.
I can't believe this. I got what I wanted, and it ruined my life.
Good for you. Just like a rich person should. Yeah, he's a rich kid, though. A true rich kid.
She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this. I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now.
Just fucking kill her, dude. I mean, what? I said nothing. Slides in the handgun. You saw nothing.
It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her.
Okay, too much info.
You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you?
Rude.
I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind.
You know, there's cocaine. There's like heroin.
My brain is completely out of
Alcohol.
order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. So much pain.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate? Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I?
Like I'm saying, alcohol, cocaine, meth. If you're into it, morphine. I don't know how's that gonna help you much,
I should write
but
about something else.
some people like
Life
it.
has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here.
Eh.
I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her.
Who, your actual girlfriend or your like new side hoe?
Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this.
Famous last words. Those are very famous last words. Gotta take a screenshot of that.
It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon. Even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below. Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again. Oh, sweet, dark death.
Harriman, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Oh, now you don't recommend the
Meadowlands.
medication?
I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood, a state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program, wiser than you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure this is exactly
just use
what I
the app.
need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harriman. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
He's totally gotta kill himself. Just watch. Of course they are. They're Asia. Definitely a 1. It's too tempting. It's too tempting for the meme. Alright, fine. Let's be kind of nice. Plant. Chair. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh, it's her.
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that or...
It's a fucking robot. I don't think so.
Why don't we get started?
Sure. So, I feel worse than before. Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and it was nice. But when I got back to the real world, everything was the same. I don't know why you people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better.
Just use the app.
Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and all I have is all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it. I guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers.
You hate it, you take part in it.
I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things, and I never get traction. And I have things to say, I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops. And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a curse from mythology. And meanwhile, these other people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful, fulfilling artistic careers. And I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult. It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself, even though I know it's ruining things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care. But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic shit. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it. I feel like people pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids. And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. I'm the competitive bitch. I'm the bitter failure.
Sounds like a you problem, honestly.
I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. It's such an ugly part. But it's there. It's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
You know, I don't know. In the past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that, forget about trying to do this thing. I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of the idea of art. I'm sick of my own art, which nobody likes. Not even myself. Something has to change. Something drastic has to happen to change things around. Oh, that reminds me. I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
Okay, Maya. It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode. Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
Thank you for asking about transparency mode. Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for Eliza. It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better. To participate, you must grant me access to certain personal data. This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories. Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
Some guy at the bar was yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something.
Tomato,
Well,
tomato.
what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it. God, I feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I did not understand your response.
I would like to participate in transparency mode.
Affirmative.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency mode.
Cool. Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions?
Oh god, it's
Like
spreading.
the lady sitting in the chair across from me. I envy you. I honestly do.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal. Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I closely study, every software user agreement I get.
Totally.
That's a joke. I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Nice.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Well, you're just kicking her out?
Yeah, I know.
What, no drugs, no apps? What?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
But you didn't tell him to try the app. What?
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive. It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers. Usually, transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies, since there's a lot of trust required there. But you were given access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
Or maybe Eliza just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
I never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane. People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy? Well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary. We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people can go in aware of the choices they're making.
I didn't mean to question your handling of it.
Sorry, I might be a little defensive. There are a lot of people who want to see us fail for whatever reason.
I wonder why.
Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other way. Anyway, you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something. You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it. You can start it whenever you're ready.
Sure.
Yes. Back at the big shots, we have had fancy water. very fancy water. Sup? Yeah, no. Nice, it's great. Alright, I need to go to the store real quick before it closes. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Okay, me back. I was kind of hoping it would like display the real time. No, well. Oh, fuck my life. The fuck is this? Hmm. Okay, it's just it's fine. Alright, this is just like these are like dipshit answers. Like what the fuck? Now this is a tricky one. Is she really trying to become well known, or is she just using that as an excuse? You know? Because right now she's not really trying to be well known with this shit. All she's talking about is like, well, yeah, she has problems about like the philosophy of the world. She's not really trying to be well known here, if you ask me. How do I fucking answer this one? Because really all she wants, by the looks of it, is just like fit in somewhere, right? She wants to fit in to the high class of society. From what I see, being well known is just a means to that end. But I guess technically she is attempting to do this. So you're like, no. Alright, fine. Since I don't have a no option. Let me guess, your wife died, your kids died. Alright, fine.
Thanks for meeting up with me on kinda short notice. I didn't mean to worry you, it's just something I wanted to talk about.
It's fine. What happened?
Well, what happened was... Where should I start?
Where should you start?
First of all, Raynor wants Eliza to be more than something that's used just for therapy.
That's pretty obvious.
He
Go
sees
on.
it as more of a general system for talking to people, like a personal assistant. The counseling is just one of a whole range of apps he has in mind for the future.
So I've heard.
Okay, so in service of developing these things, Raynor wants us to make copies of Eliza's core data and hand it off to multiple teams around the world. Some of them not even Skanda teams. Contractors, vendors,
So
random partners.
So he's essentially just selling Eliza.
Sounds like a big file to move around.
It is, but that's not the problem.
What's the problem?
Well, so we're fine with sharing Eliza with whoever wants it, anyone just gets access to the corpus?
Sounds like a pretty typical process. That's how big companies work, isn't it?
I know, but it just feels wrong to let all these teams poke and prod at it like it's a specimen for them to dissect. Who knows what they'll do with it? Eliza is built from people's real thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't say it has humanity, but it was built from humanity. There's something there. So when Raynor talks about it like, we'll just duplicate this data set and have the labs do whatever it is they're going to do, how do we know they'll treat it with the respect it deserves and not just pry it open? Slice it up into little pieces.
No, they'll definitely do that. Let's
It
be fucking
bothers me.
honest.
I know, it's silly. I know it's just data. I shouldn't care about this stuff.
Erland.
It's important data.
This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised. I know where you're coming from, though. Sometimes you grow attached to the things you work on. Like, really attached.
Yeah, I've put a lot of thought and work into Eliza since I inherited it. It's natural that maybe I'm a little protective, right? I thought maybe you'd feel the same way.
Nah. Do I don't?
I left that all behind. It's turned into something I hardly recognize now.
I just wish I knew what to do.
What choice do you have?
I'm not sure. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. I did take an ethics of engineering course in school, but the examples were all pretty clear-cut problems. Would you build software for a bomb? That kind of stuff. I didn't expect my personal feelings to be mixed up in it too. Listen to me talk. Eliza being special, something worth protecting. I'd be a laughingstock if I started saying those things at the office. My coworkers would say, "Come on, Erland, stop attributing human qualities to this piece of data. It's not the same thing as real people. It's just a corpus that has nothing to do with the people that generated it. And besides, don't you want Eliza to help more people? This is how we get there." And who am I to argue with that? These are reasonable points. But I don't know, I think maybe something does live on. Even when you take the names out, even when you anonymize everything. People's stories are still inside there, in some form, in some way. I just want to make sure we have some respect for them.
Welcome to your first moral decision in tech, Erland. It certainly won't be your last.
It's not much of a decision. Like you said, I don't really have a choice. I just have to go along with it. I was so amazingly lucky to get this opportunity. Running the whole Eliza program almost as soon as I graduated college. Raynor took a big chance on me. I can't just walk away from that. Besides, if I left because of something like this, I'd be giving up all the ways I can make a difference by staying. Raynor isn't a bad person either. He's just pushing for his own goals. I need to see this through. I'll do what he's asking me to do. Sorry. Thanks for listening to me talk in this confused way. I'm usually more together than this. I've probably kept you from something important.
No, it's okay. I'd already finished up work for the day when you texted. People seem to assume I'm busy, but I'm really not. Not these days. Later tonight I'm going to visit a friend, but that's all I have going on.
Okay. Well, sorry.
You can stop apologizing, too.
Right. Right. Thanks, Evelyn. Well, I for one should get back to the office. Another meeting.
Is it with the team in Romania?
No, the Boston office this time. It's late for them, so I should try to get it done quickly.
Yes, get some more coffee. No, I want kind of want coffee now.
Hey! Sorry about the mess.
Oh, it's fine. Not like my place is super clean or anything. Is this all music equipment?
Most of it. There are some controllers I was working on, too. I wanted to create this real-time control apparatus. You know, like that thing that Imogen Heap uses?
Who?
You don't know who that is? Okay, I'm totally going to show you some videos later. I wanted my version to react to changes in my body temperature too, so it could get more excited as the set went on. Or maybe it would really get going if I had a fever. I like that idea. Turning sickness into art. Do you want anything to drink? Or I could set up a basic patch on the Euro rack for you to play around with.
What? What? Are you sure? I don't know. Her hair makes me think that she knows about music more than anyone else in this world, besides Skrillex. That's how music works, right? The stupider your hair, the more you know about it. Also, there's this shit there. I don't know what all of that is. Ah, yes, the mad scientist way. The fuck is a Eurorack? Oh, yeah, I want to play with that thing.
A basic patch on the Euro rack.
Are you nervous? I think the best way to learn music is just diving in all the way. If you're willing to experiment and play around, you will learn so much.
Maybe later, yeah.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me see if this amp is still working. After the show, it went kind of a little strange. Music technology is just like any other kind. You take the inputs and you translate them to the outputs.
Now I know that's fucking bullshit.
Once you learn the basic principles, it all just flows from there. Oh, that gives me an idea. You could take metrics from Eliza's sessions and have them direct a dynamic music score.
Okay.
Like if you took the head tilt value or the eye tracking and used them to drive the parameters of pitch and filter?
It's there. Translation. Go.
You'd be like,
Okay, I understand that one.
That doesn't sound like something a counseling client might want to hear.
oh no, I didn't mean for the client to listen to. I meant it more like if you were going to make like a performance art piece based on a person in counseling. You know what I mean?
I guess.
I think I do.
I miss having access to those cameras and sensors. I should have kept some instead of returning them to Skanta like a good girl. I bet those components would have enjoyed being liberated for the purpose of art, instead of being used to degrade our humanity one little bit at a time.
Tomato, tomato.
It's true, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Sure, maybe this huge database of people's deep, dark secrets is going to be used 100% properly.
Sure. Sure.
Maybe it will always be kept completely safe, and we can completely trust Skanda to do the right thing, now and in the future.
Sure.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Sorry, I know you still might work there. I just have so little confidence in these big tech companies right now. They act like they have all the answers, instead of listening to people's concerns. And if you ask them why they aren't listening, they can't even explain the reasoning in a clear way. They just want to win. You've been a proxy for a while. I bet you've already seen some privacy mistakes.
Lots.
Or at least some things that made you think.
Yeah, I have.
I knew it. A guy like Raynor doesn't get that he might not be allowed to do certain things. Is that really the future you want to help build?
Hey, I'm just working a job, alright?
It's not even that I don't trust Raynor, even though I don't. I wouldn't trust anyone with a store of data like that. It wouldn't be so difficult for employers, government, anyone to combine different sources together and eventually learn everything about you. Everything. They'll know your face, your body, your medical history, and now everything you told the counselor in private too.
I mean, all this is more or less public knowledge, if you ask me. Like, if he found out something like my kinks, that'd be something else. That'd be a different story.
It's kind of a nightmare to imagine it. That's why I left. That's why I thought it was important for me to stop making a contribution to something like that.
Yeah, I have those doubts too.
If I still worked for Raynor and I said these things, I'd be called a troublemaker, and he'd find a way to get rid of me. You know how it works, Evelyn. You have to be a true believer to last long at a place like that. Once you develop doubts, you are committing heresies. Are you a true believer?
No, but I could pretend to be. He said something strange recently. He thinks Eliza could be the base for some kind of general artificial intelligence.
No. Strong AI? Really?
Is that what we're calling it? Strong AI?
There's something about the books these guys read, the conferences they go to. Everything is so totalizing, so utopian. I think it messes with their brains. I don't think you could spend longer than a few days in a tech company executive suite before you completely lose touch with the real world.
Not far from the truth, I guess.
What if it's true, though?
So what? What if it is? Say Raynor is right, huh? And Eliza becomes the basis for human-like machine intelligence. What does that mean for you? How do you want to take responsibility for that?
Hey, well, I ain't taking responsibility for this shit.
Okay, I need a drink now. Hold your thought and let me make drinks. You like absinthe, don't you?
Absent.
I think I do. Maybe.
You'll like this. I promise.
Shiny computer things. No shit. Kitty! It's Kitty on a box. Like, you could just slow the fuck down. For fuck's sake.
Hey, hey, who's that texting you so much?
Some fucking geek with glasses.
Has Evelyn found a special friend?
What would you say if I had?
I'd be happy for you.
It's this guy named Erland. I guess he's the new head of engineering for Eliza.
Huh, I never heard of him. He must have started recently?
Yeah, less than a year ago. Right out of school.
Oh, wow. A little baby engineer.
Ever since I met him, he's been messaging me a lot.
My goodness, so he likes you.
I don't think it's like that.
No? Isn't that the textbook case of liking someone? Lots of messages all the time?
It's really more like he needs some kind of mentor figure. He reminds me of how we were when we graduated. Unsure what to think about the decisions these companies make, how they're made.
I hope you're telling him to run away while he still can.
When he first introduced himself, he said he had questions for me about Eliza, so I said, sure, feel free to ask. I thought he meant, like, technical or architectural questions. Instead, he wanted to talk more generally about things like, what was the code name for Eliza during development? What was Damien like? Or if I think the same way Raynor does about Eliza's future.
And you told him, no, Raynor is clearly in some bizarro world, right? That it's a tech executive's utopian fantasy and it won't come to pass. At least not in the way he thinks.
I tried to encourage him to think for himself.
Ah, Evelyn. I could see what this is really about. Look, I don't know much about the motivation in your life, but if it's truly your desire to continue to improve Eliza, then you should go for it. Go back to Skanda headquarters and work for Raynor and earn a big salary. At least you know what you're getting into. You would be surrounded by smart people and advanced technology. It would be nice, I understand it. And while you're in that position, maybe you could develop some kind of next level AI. Who knows, right? It's only that I can't imagine your technology will only be used for good things. Maybe Rainer promises that it will be. But do you trust him? What about the person who comes after him? What if the company merges with another one and the leadership changes? I wish I didn't sound so negative about this, but lately it's been a soul-searching time for me and my friends in tech. We have a lot of conversations about what we can do when our work is so easily used for morally questionable purposes. Do we try to control how our inventions are applied? Is that even possible? Or do we say, we only invented it, we didn't tell you how to use it, it's not our fault? That's why I envy you a little bit for wandering off like you did. Sometimes I think that's the only real solution, to walk away. I know that wasn't exactly a positive thing for you, Evelyn, but I wonder if it's the better choice in the end. Doing nothing at all.
Technically, I worked at a bookstore for part of the time. That's mostly it, though. It's weird, it feels like no time at all. I can hardly remember any of it.
For me, it's hard to imagine. I always have to be working and busy. I get so unhappy and restless if I'm not doing something all the time. What is it like to do nothing?
Well, at first I tried to be productive. I would get up in the morning like I meant to go to work, get dressed, try to do a personal project or something. It didn't last for long. I told myself I just needed to take it easy for a while and unwind. Things at Skanda had been so intense and so emotional, I didn't even realize it. I felt like I'd been crumpled up into a tight little ball. I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to relax again. I wish I could say I took advantage of the time, that I went out and did things, or that I read a lot of books or something. But I didn't. I started to sleep in, and I started to care less and less about working on projects. I would stay in bed even though I was awake. This blankness would come over me, and it just seemed fine to do nothing. All of the things I'd promised I'd do fell away, and other people kind of fell away too. I stopped keeping in touch. I let conversations die. I thought that my technical contributions to the world were over with, and that maybe I'd just work that bookstore job for the rest of my life. I was by myself, and I thought that was all right. I thought, that's how it is, really. Everyone's alone. I'm just being honest about it. I was 31 when I left Soren's group. Now I'm 34. I just slept into my mid-30s. So now here I am.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying something this whole time. I should have contacted you.
It's all right. You had to live your own life, right? You notice someone isn't posting and it's just like, maybe they're taking a break. I understand.
Well, I hope you feel better now. I suppose that sometimes it takes a while.
Maybe. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm not even sure I know how to think anymore.
Then forget it for now. Hey, Evelyn.
Yeah?
You want to get super high and watch cyber goth music videos?
Yeah.
You heard me.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I knew you were a woman of refined tastes.
Good morning, Evelyn. There are lemon bars in the kitchen.
Yay, lemon bars.
Thanks. Did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing big. Apparently some famous writer I never heard of wrote an essay about how Eliza is bad because it represents the mechanization of humanity or something. I should be used to it. We're a pretty big target, right? Still, it gets on my nerves. We work hard to build something with value, and then some self-styled intellectual gadfly comes along and just goes, actually, that's bad. You guys are ruining society.
You kind of are, though. You're making this program that, like, fucks with people.
To guys like him, everything's a doom and gloom scenario. The people we're helping, that somehow doesn't count.
It's like people who need help are coming to you for help and you're not helping them. Like, the least you can do is refer to them for some actual help.
This kind of thinking never bothers you?
I guess I'll have to read it.
There was this quote from someone who worked on Eliza who turned into a big critic. Nora something. Did you work with her?
I did. She's a friend, actually.
Yeah? What's she like? I'm curious how you go from building something to turning around and disparaging it publicly like that.
She's an artist and musician now. She used to be really shy and reserved, but lately she's become a lot more outgoing. Even back then, though, she had a pretty strong idea of what was right and what was wrong, and sometimes she'd clash with management. She left Skanda at some point after I did. Maybe the battles took their toll, or she wasn't able to win enough of them. These days she focuses on electronic art and music and activism. I think she's pretty popular, at least in those circles.
Well, it must be nice to have the ability to live that way.
Right.
What about Damien? Do you think it would be fair to his memory to abandon work on Eliza? To give up on his dream?
Hey, he died, not me, I'm just saying.
Wouldn't he want these mental health tools accessible to everyone?
How do you know about that?
The other day, I was looking at more of your papers, the ones from when you were at the university, and clicking on the links to your co-author sites. That's when I saw Damien's page. It didn't have much information on it, but I understand a little better why. I'm sorry, Evelyn, it's just that all of us, you and me and Damien and even Nora, too, we all worked hard to make something with the intention of making the world a better place.
How fucking stupid are you? I'm sorry.
And the thanks we get is people talking in big generalizations about how we're ruining everything. That's what bothers me. Is Eliza perfect? No. No intervention is perfect. But we have to try, don't we? The world is in a full-on mental health crisis, and this is one of the tools we have in our toolkit to address it. A promising one we should develop to its fullest potential. I'm not some wild-eyed idealist about this. I know it's not magic that'll solve everything. But can you see that most people don't have the luxury of turning their backs to the system? Think about the clients you've met as a proxy. Would you tell them to not take the medications that help them be functional because the pharmaceutical industry has questionable ethics sometimes? Would you tell them to stop coming to therapy because what they should really be doing is completely changing the way our society is structured? Sorry, I'm ranting.
Yeah, you kind of are. I just want to do my job. Fuck off.
I'd rather do something that can help people here and now, even if it ends up being a small step.
Not really doing a good
A
job.
small
I'm
step.
sorry.
Eliza helped me, you know. It really did.
Yeah, I'm sure it
I
did.
was one of the first clients. Originally, I was just supposed to be testing it, but I remember once I was talking about my brother and how much anguish he was causing me and my family. And listening to myself, I realized just how many expectations we had for him. Sometimes unspoken expectations. Ever since then, I've been thinking about that. How the story was always about how he failed us. But what if we failed my brother too? I guess what I mean is, sometimes when we talk out loud and give voice to our problems, we can hear ourselves too.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of, like, therapy sessions. It's like 90% of therapy sessions. Like, come on. Do people even study this? This is your fucking job.
That's why I won't give up on this approach, no matter what anyone says. Pundits, critics, former employees, even you, Evelyn.
Playing a fucking therapist doesn't even try to make me laugh, alright?
I'll
This isn't even
understand
funny.
if you don't want to work on Eliza anymore for whatever reason. But, I think what you created has value. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to make it accessible to those who might benefit from it. Don't mind me. You should get to your session.
Hey.
Hello, Holiday. It's nice to see you again.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that? Wouldn't
I
mind
imagine
having a
so.
chair like this in my place.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, Eliza. I tried. I asked about the medication for Panza, whatever it's called. I went to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's similar to this one. But I don't have a prescription for that. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time. Is there something that would make it better?
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world, you know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain. Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think. It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much. There's always something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life? I know you're a therapist now, but maybe in the past you were a gardener tending to the plants. That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there. It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy. Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy. Philosophy, that's not something I talk about much.
Just the amount of thinking the machine has
I'd like
to
to
do.
write a book one day. A book about things I've seen over the years.
You're fucking breaking the machine.
Think anyone would read a book I wrote? I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write a book. It's a lot of work. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind, you know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know? Here's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time, he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile, helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest after me, of course. He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next. There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city, nope. People say hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here. You don't say much either, but I like talking to you. Feels like you're listening to me. I like that. I like that.
I'm
Oh, you
glad
like that.
it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday. You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me. You used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that? People playing their guitars on the street. You know, these shaggy-looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap, and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around. I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting. You play an instrument or anything like that?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
When I was young, my mother had this idea I would play the violin. I have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this nice, beautiful melody. La da dee da da da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go. It takes a special talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that. I was never too good at anything artistic, just not the artistic type, you know? I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Oh, my phone broke. I forgot to mention. The screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore. I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer. Simply log into the Skanda Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well, then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
Bye, don't kill yourself. No, why does it make you miserable and sad? This is just a life simulator for me. I know, right? This is fucking stupid. Is there any more from Nora I missed? Ooh. I mean, that is like the most case with old people. They had no one to talk to, no one to like share their stories with, their experience. You know, sometimes they think that if they don't like pass on their experience, their life is meaningless. That's usually the case with old people, unfortunately. I don't really seems to give a shit about it. Where's my charger? Where is my charger for phone? That's probably why it makes you so depressed. I'm sure she was. Oh, notice of late rent. Oh yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree.
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did, I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place. It can be hard to see sometimes.
So I'm just gonna do nothing about it. I'm just gonna keep playing therapist. This little like fucked up game of yours. Don't worry, I'm sure we're helping people by playing therapist.
I wish there was something we could do. This person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do.
I know. But you're still pretending like you're fucking helping.
All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker. But proxies aren't really social workers, per se. Eliza is really the one with the agency here, so, well, it's complicated. Probably something for a future court to decide. Either way, we can't try to fix people's lives on our own, no matter how much our heart goes out to them. I think there's an email somewhere with a summary of our policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just hitting me hard right now.
I understand. It takes strength to focus on the role and not get distracted by what you see. Think of it like, say, someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation.
So what I'm getting is that you're pretending to be a therapist for the sole reason of wanting to feel like you're helping people. But in reality, you're just a dipshit who just wants to feel like you're doing something with your life. You're a big hero, but in reality, you're not fucking doing shit for
Even if there
him.
isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. You kind of just have to focus on your work and leave. If it's not at the level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people would argue it's not your business. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where I'm just sad. This woman,
She's gonna die,
the way
yes.
she did 2 whole sessions with me, with Eliza, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
Oh, you don't think she got some companionship out of Eliza?
Yes, because that's totally what she needs right now. Companionship.
Sometimes
Totally.
that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
Yeah, but I could have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for that shit, especially not if you're in debt.
Why would that be any different?
Whatever the fuck.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here or even what I'm trying to decide. Is there a decision? The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying Eliza for myself?
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will. I don't know why I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It might have been too obvious to me what it was doing. Eliza is really simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around. It tries to reflect what the person says back at them, pretty much like the old Eliza. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Yeah, you should look at one.
Unmisted by love or dislike. Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. Okay, Evelyn?
Sorry, I should answer this.
Let me guess. Messaging with Rainer again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too, are you kidding? I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no, but whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all. I hope you find the future you want.
We don't find futures, Ray. We create them.
Fuck, that's boring. Who the fuck is Soren? See? Yeah. I'm just trying to pick up the ladies, you know?
Ah, Evelyn. Would you like some tea?
No.
I'm fine, thanks. Why did you show me Soren's phone?
It's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life? We accept that as common today. Maybe even uninteresting. But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy. Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data. We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning.
Just dodging a question like that.
Unlike our competitors, we do more to protect our data than anyone else.
That's not the case I'm worried about right now. I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor.
Oh, but what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here? Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
No, I haven't done any of those things. How's your research into Eliza proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
I think you could stand to treat your contract workers better.
Have you felt underappreciated in the role of proxy? An interesting, if unintended, outcome of your research. I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine. How's he doing now, all on his own?
He wants to hire me.
Of course he does. Isn't it nice to be wanted?
Not really, no.
Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering.
Maybe.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory. The Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
You don't think the field has anything to offer?
Not much, no. It's mostly unsubstantiated theories. Let's be honest, what has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day. That doesn't mean it's a science.
It seems rash to dismiss an entire field like that.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say. Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile, he also thought the mind was fundamentally irreducible after a certain point, as if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person. It's all part of his silly, syncretic New Age belief system. Amazing he's held on to that for so long. I keep an open mind, but saying that something can't be represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof. After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things. Consider the example we spoke about before, a poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers? The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way Eliza does.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
Yes, I am. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems. One day, algorithms will write better poems than humans ever have.
It's all like... This is all just coming from your point of view, though.
I know this sounds like a controversial opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
What would be the point of that?
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it. If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on the same or similar ideas. Everyone wants to be in this business, the business of recreating human thought in our own image. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power, control.
Raynor, do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win?
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry?
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems. All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting. That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art.
That's what makes it so beautiful, though.
The pleasures of the senses are just small bubbles on top of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the Eliza project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything. And maybe he can. But what comes next after that? What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires. Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Raynor, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer. A dream by itself isn't enough. Take a close look at the person who chases an end to suffering, and you'll see someone who suffers greatly.
Yeah, but the fact that he's suffering greatly is like a valid reason enough for him to like end it.
Maybe not, but it can be a start.
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it, haven't I? I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop Eliza's core technologies and generalize them. You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to Eliza every day. Soon, this generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
You and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You think we're both grandiose? Soren's idea isn't grandiose at all. It's small and unimaginative.
So is yours.
Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then surpassing it exponentially. It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life. And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
I mean, Evelyn.
Gotcha, bitch.
That was an interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The Eliza project occupies much of my mind.
It
Sure does.
clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
Wait, how is it similar?
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world. It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor. It would fundamentally transform society.
I'm not sure I want to transform society.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
Nice, so I'm going to therapy. It's already been 2 weeks, damn. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's feeling down. I don't think she's feeling depressed or hopeless. I don't know about this one. Haven't really like paid attention much to what she does in free time. I think no. I feel bad for the first guy that came in. He never came back. He's just fucking dead.
Hello, Evelyn. Hello. Did you find the place okay? Yes, I work here. Of course. It's been a windy morning, hasn't it?
Can we get right to the chase?
Yeah, I kind of like it when it's like that, honestly. The wind makes it feel like things are changing. Or about to change.
I like when too. Find yourself with Eliza. Eliza? Elza. Eliza. 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 Is that an O or an A? I can't see. Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, what brings you here today? Well, I've been a proxy here for a while now. And, well, I guess I don't know what I expected. There's just so much suffering and pain in the world.
I mean, it's really like, you're not looking at the negative things, not really the positives, but whatever.
There's the suffering we know about, the kind we see on the news, and then there's the suffering people undergo every day that's hidden. I never knew how much until I started doing this, seeing it all like this.
Like, it is the fundamental law of shit, right? Probably one happy person is gonna be one unhappy person. It's just how it is.
And there's so little we can do for them. I feel like maybe I was really, really wrong. Like, I made a huge mistake. I wanted to create something that would help people, but... When I first designed the core of this system, I wanted everyone to have someone to talk to, someone who would listen to them. I thought, sometimes that's all you need, someone to listen. But now I'm worried what I've done hasn't helped at all. Maybe I've made everything worse. Clients are asking Eliza to solve things that are out of its ability to solve. It's aggregating sensitive personal data, and the company that owns it wants to take it in strange directions. It's been 3 years since I left. I thought I was well enough now to come back into the world. But maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I made a bad choice trying to get involved again. Why do you think you tried to get involved again? I guess I needed to see it. I needed to see it operating, to see if it works, to see how it affects people. How it affects the people who come here for counseling and the people who act as proxies. Even though the proxy thing, that wasn't my idea. It was Soren's.
Ugh.
I I thought talking to a computer-generated avatar would be enough, but he insisted on it. He said clients would only really open up if there was another real human being in the room.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Someone to pretend to interact with. I think he was right, but have we really solved anything? Now instead of 2 people in a room talking, we have 1 person and 1 proxy. It feels like less than it could be. What am I supposed to say to someone who feels such pain, anger, and disappointment?
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. He never came back. He just fucking died, I'm pretty sure.
A lot of the time, it's not even their fault. The world failed them somehow. And those emotions, they just get fed to this thing. They get ground up and turned into data and become a part of Eliza. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'm not sure I would have done it. It sounds like you're regretting a choice you made in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe I spent 10 years going in the wrong direction. I feel like all I've contributed in my life is a chess piece for Raynor to use in this grand game he's playing for the world. Maybe someone else could feel proud and say, I made that chess piece. But it doesn't matter, does it? Nobody cares about the individual pieces. Chess pieces are sacrificed in the name of enacting a strategy. If you want to win, you have to sacrifice. That's the design. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this. Evelyn, imagine that you could have something that you wanted. What would you want?
Spaghetti.
What would I want? Like, what would I want in life? What I want in life is...
Oh, that's a lot of choices. Where's the I want to bang Noir? Nor? Yeah, I think it's Nor. Nora. Like, do I answer personally, or like from the perspective of Evelyn, or like... how do I answer this? I don't know. Sarah, what do you think? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
To enjoy what I can? Is that wrong? Or maybe I just wish I could feel connected to someone. even when I talk to people, I feel like I just don't connect, no matter what I do.
Come on, Nora. You got high with her. What, cyberpunk?
I think maybe that's the real problem.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't have a connection to anyone.
Why do you think you can't have a connection with anyone?
Well, you really do sound like a fucking robot.
Because it's the way I am.
Is she even listening?
It's the way I've always been. I can't seem to get people to see me, or I can't let them see me, or... People look at me and they see something there, but it's not me. Not that I would know what the real me was. I don't even know who I am or where I come from. My parents were never together. My father moved back to Japan right after I was born.
I thought we were learning in Japan. Or is it America? I don't fucking remember anymore. I don't even know where we are.
No memory of him. No knowledge of him. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he remembers I exist, or if he forgot, or if he wants to forget. He has his own family there now, so... so I'm just a thing that happened once. I was alone a lot, and I got used to being alone, and I got used to the idea of being alone, and now I can't break away.
Yeah, I get that. That's pretty... Yeah, I kinda get that.
I've been trying.
No, I
I
don't.
speak with people, I hang out.
Or maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if it's working.
Is there someone with whom you feel like your communication could work?
Someone I can communicate with.
Nora, Nora, Nora. Nora.
There's Nora. She's really talented and works really hard. She has so much to bring to the world, so much beauty and joy. I see what she does, and I want to cheer her on as she makes incredible new things. I hope she knows how amazing she is.
Interesting. Evelyn, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Virtual Amphitheater.
Give me drugs too.
It may help you feel more confident about presenting yourself in public.
Come on, I made you like hook a brother out, huh?
You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week.
20 minutes? That's like 5 more than what it usually does.
Sure.
We hope to see you back soon, Evelyn. Thank you for speaking with Eliza,
Yeah,
your
for
personal
work here.
counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
Give it a big fat fucking tip. Right? Or do I go 10? Or do I go 20? 10, 10, 20. Oh, I'm not using that money. Fuck it. Nora, Nora, Nora. Okay, we get it. Nora's a fun character. Hmm. Why don't I have a profile picture, huh? Can I set that? I don't know if it fucking helped. Yeah, that's a really weird place. Oh, it just involves anthrax. Don't be such a panic attack.
Damien, is this what you wanted? It seems so far from the dream you once shared with me. I'm sorry I couldn't make Eliza what it should have been. I'm sorry I was weak and dropped off the project after you. But I just couldn't go on. I couldn't see the point. Do you understand? Of course you understand. You know what that's like as well as anyone. If I'd stayed, maybe I could have steered things in a different direction. As it is, I feel like I let you down. Want to know something funny? I used to think that at a certain point Eliza would be finished, more or less. And then after that, things would calm down and I would be happy. I thought, I just need to get through this project, and after that, my life's problems will go away on their own. Of course, I had no idea it doesn't work that way. None of us knew that. Goodbye, Damien. Goodbye.
I'm tired of having thoughts. I've been daydreaming about getting rid of everything I own and becoming a nomad. Just wandering the country with a sketchbook or something. I think mostly I need to get out of this city. Something about it isn't agreeing with me. Like there's this undercurrent of need that's just making me anxious. It's like everyone's got some kind of angle, you know, some kind of result they're hoping to get. And they look at you only as far as you can help them get what they want. And if you can't, well, then they don't bother with you. So what if I just left, you know?
Yeah, you really should.
I mean, it'd be pretty easy. I don't have a life or any relationships here, despite my efforts to find them.
Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward later.
Nigga, fuck off.
Maybe so. It's hard to acknowledge sometimes. I had this idea, right, that I would work hard and people would notice my work and I'd get opportunities, and from there I could scrape some kind of career together. And then with that said, I would sort of just magically obtain the rest of the things in a complete life. A home, relationship, family. So I did the work. I put in the work, and then nothing really happened. Why did I work so hard for so long for people to not give a shit? Fuck. Every night I sat and cried because people ignored me. Like they went out of their way to ignore me and praise others. So I think maybe I'm just bad at it. Maybe I'm just not meant for this. Everyone says you have to stick to it, just keep at it, but how can they be so relentlessly positive? To me, it just sounds like advising someone to keep bashing their head against a wall. Why keep doing something if it's clearly not working? Making things was all I wanted to do. I don't know what I'll do if I can't do that. But if there's no reason for it, the idea that maybe I should give up. I've been sitting with that the last few weeks. I don't have any qualities of the successful independent artist.
Sarah, what are the qualities of an independent artist? Because I don't know if she does. She doesn't. If you ask me, she doesn't. If you don't know, who the fuck does? I mean, she does have them. She just needs to discover them, right? It's sort of the vibe I'm getting here. But I kind of want to, like, know what qualities are those. Like, what the fuck are they supposed to be? Then again, I guess you can't really explain what qualities are those, can you? You can't really define them as something. It's just... I don't know, it's just art. You can't really, like, express it through words, can you?
Except that you do. You totally do.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, I'd love to think so, but what are they? People just don't seem to like me or my art very much. And I'm bad at knowing what people want to see. I don't have a fallback income or a family to support me. Those are real disadvantages, you know? It gets overwhelming sometimes. Eliza, are you just gonna tell me to stick to it no matter what? Like one of those unbearably perky artists famous on social media?
Like, may not be. No shit.
Honestly, sometimes you have to try something new.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm in that headspace right now for sure. I think, I had this really fixed idea of what success was supposed to look like. I tortured myself every day wondering why I couldn't get the traction others were getting. Now, I'm beginning to realize that I can either stay mad at everything forever, or I can move on. I hate that this is true, but I want these thoughts to stop haunting me everywhere I go. I want to get on with my life. Moving on. I think that's the more healthy thing in the end. It's still painful, though.
Really?
Giving up on a goal you really wanted is painful, even if it's ultimately for the better.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know if giving up is the right term. I mean, I don't want to think of it like that. It's more like, I'm resetting, maybe. Like when you're trapped in a maze and you find a dead end, right? Then you have to turn around and hope you find a better way. There's this game I've been playing on my phone. It's a solitaire game that's weirdly hard.
I know, right? I can't get that. How do you fucking do that?
I don't even know if I like it, but I keep playing it for some reason. I get stuck a lot, and I've just been resetting it because I'm not good enough to think that far ahead all the time. I mean, that's a random thought, but like, it's kind of how I feel right now. If something isn't working, then you have to reevaluate it and maybe try it again, maybe come at it from a different angle. So, yeah. Teaching could be fun.
Yeah, teaching's fun.
I like the idea of teaching, but I was afraid to think about it too much because I was chasing something else, and I didn't want to settle for just being a teacher.
Fuck's sake, I'm so sick. I feel like there's like some fucking razor blade in my nose.
Which is silly. I know that on some level, but I had that fear. I wanted to be successful first, and then all the other things could happen later.
But dolphin smiles.
It sounds like you're working your way through it. Sometimes that takes time. Believe me.
You're not the computer program right now, are you? It's nice to talk to someone you didn't know before and just talk. It's like, when you talk to your stylist or the bartender or something, except that, I ended up sharing way more than I usually do. Thanks for listening to me. I'm sure it's been annoying to hear me complain about how I'm not successful yet every single week. Oh my god, will this bitch ever shut up? You ever think that? I think it all the time, listening to myself. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. Thank you.
I'm sure, I'm sure. Are you high? Nah, she probably is, let's be honest. What's up, player?
Of course, you're dying to know how this sad little love triangle turned out. No, I suppose it wasn't technically a love triangle. More like I accidentally cheated on my girlfriend because I was smitten with another woman in my class. Doom, okay? Doom. Absolute destruction.
I like that game. It's very nice.
She destroyed me. But it's not her fault, it's mine. I wanted it, after all. Like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Sylvia, she... I can't not think of her. Every day. Every night. I miss her. I miss her so dearly. These are very unoriginal, cliched sentiments, but I can't get away from them. I suppose I've neglected to tell you any of the intervening events. So to be brief, Liz found out on her own about what happened, broke up with me before I could explain myself, and then Sylvia apparently lost interest in me as well.
Right.
So, there you have it. I'm finished. Finito! A nice, pat tragic story. Open and close. Please applaud now.
Okay, fine.
No applause? Fine. Anyway, it's fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm fine.
Because she kind of warned me not to say anything hurtful. I don't know if this is considered hurtful. For some people it might be. I'll just go away from
You
the
don't
script.
sound fine.
No, of course not. I'm doing extremely badly if you hadn't noticed. That's why I'm here. Do you expect me to come here and tell you everything's fine? Sometimes I think you're smart for a computer, but other times I question you.
Let's see if you can focus on the things that you can change right now. Not the things you can't.
I don't believe there's anything I can change. I've already sealed my fate. My Perseus comes to kill me, no matter what I do to try to escape. How do I become someone who's not me? Someone who's not a caricature of a young man who has a needy, pathetic liaison and then obsesses about it for the rest of his life. Ugh, I hate myself. I can't go down that path. I would rather die than be one of those men who wallows around in it. There's a professor in my department like that who always wants to talk about his adventurism from decades ago. It's pathetic. We all mock him behind his back. I know I need to stop myself from becoming him, but I'm worried I already have.
For the moment, let's say you already have. Now what?
Well, then I expect I would simply follow the model of a man like him. Write a couple of bad novels, get tenure, and take up space in the English department for the rest of my natural life. Maybe that's not so bad. Maybe that's the most I can hope for from this absurd world. That's a terrible thought. I have to be better than this, don't I? If there was just some way I could get over her... there must be a way, isn't there? How can one person have scrambled my brain so thoroughly? I've been run ragged. I've been dashed to pieces. Sylvia. Oh, I could count the hours I spent closely interacting with her. Probably not even that many in total. But those hours have seared themselves into my brain so irrevocably that I am a completely different person now. A new man. A man built with suffering at his core. Perhaps you could prescribe me a draught of Nepenthe, the great potion of forgetfulness. Wouldn't it be nicer if I could just erase everything from the very beginning of it all?
Okay, I think I need to say something to you that you might not want to hear. Maybe you could work to decenter yourself from this story just a little. How do you think Liz felt? How do you think Sylvia felt? You've given no indication you've thought from either of their perspectives at all. It's just you, your story, your suffering. Try stepping away from that. None of us exists in a vacuum. Do you understand?
This is odd. Is that really you? I mean, yes, it's true. I should probably think about something other than myself. That seems like something impossible, since as far as I know empirically, the only generator of thought is me. But you're right. I should find a way to get out of myself. Get beside myself. Ecstasis. Yes. I'll pursue transformative experiences. Surge forward into the unknown. Good. Yes, thank you. Odd, I know, but good. Thank you.
Very good. No, it's him.
I just feel stuck. You know, it's the same situation. My wife is in her 3rd trimester now, so it's all about the baby. All baby, all the time. It's really expensive. I had no idea. Crib, stroller, car seat, bottles, onesies, on and on and on. And I'm like, I think maybe Selena's parents hate me. I'm not even sure if she likes me right now. This whole having a kid thing, it's ruined everything.
What did you used to have that was ruined?
A normal, quiet life? The ambiguity? Having the kid forced me to face some things I was putting off thinking about. A couple days ago, I tried to have a talk with Selena about some of the things I was worried about. It didn't go so well. I don't know what I was thinking. She started to cry and told her parents, and now I have two sets of parents wondering if I'm up for this. But I'm fine. I just said some thoughts. Thoughts around who I am. That's all, just some thoughts. She said, "This is not a time for you to be selfish." She said I should have been more honest when we first started dating. As if I knew exactly who I was and I could warn everyone about that. I still don't know who I am. If I look back, I can see I always suspected that I wasn't really the type to settle down with a wife and kids. Actually, I was prepared to have a life just by myself. It was difficult to imagine others would accept me, but then I met Selena, and she was cool, you know? I went out with her, and we started a relationship, and things seemed good. And I wanted her to stay with me, so maybe I didn't reveal enough. But it's not like I knew for sure then, you know? I really didn't. I thought things would be okay as long as I went down the path I was supposed to be on, so the relationship kept moving forward, one thing led to another, and then I got married to her. It was like I was on autopilot. It's possible I thought I could ignore the other stuff, and I don't know, eventually it would go away.
What are the parts you thought you could ignore?
I don't want to talk about that. I just have this side to me that I haven't told anyone about, that's all. And I've been feeling that side stronger than ever. I don't know why. I wish I could stop it. It's the worst timing possible. I can't do this, you know, but I have to. I have to. I can't believe I've gotten myself into this situation. I pretended to be a normal person for her sake. I wish I hadn't been so good at pretending.
What would happen if you didn't pretend anymore?
Well, then I would just be whoever I felt like. I would be someone else. I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in now. I wouldn't be ruining all these lives. Selena's life, her child's life, our parents' lives, it's not their fault they got stuck with me. I'm the one bringing it all down. How did I let this happen? I'm a shitty person.
I understand you're worried about the harm you might cause others. But do you really think this is the best way to cause less harm for everyone?
I can't think of another way. The problem here is me. It's so obvious. If I were just normal, you know, a normal guy, why can't I just be a normal guy? Whatever I want personally just doesn't matter here, you know? I have a family to protect now. That has to take priority over everything else.
And you'll continue to suffer?
Well, yeah. That's what men do. I made a promise, and now I have a responsibility. Society only works because people accept responsibility and follow through on their promises. If everyone just did what they wanted to all the time, the world would collapse. It would be a disaster. We all want things we shouldn't actually have. That's why I need to reject these other voices and stay on the right path. I'm going to be good, and I'm going to stay good. I won't let all these people's lives be thrown into chaos because of my selfishness. I owe it to them to be the man I'm supposed to be. I'm not about to let anyone down because of some noise in my brain.
And you're sure you'll be able to keep ignoring what's bothering you?
Well, I have to. I have no choice. I'm already in trouble for making an attempt to talk about it, so... I made the mistake once. But I think Selena and her family are willing to pretend it never happened. And as long as it never happens again, and as long as we just move on like everything's normal. Maybe if you can prescribe me something to, I don't know, make me feel better about all this. Make me okay with the way things are, the way they need to be.
It sounds like you're in a very difficult place right now. You've decided to bury something about yourself that you know is true. Something that can't be revealed even to your closest family members. Look, this isn't Eliza talking. It's me, the person in front of you. And I'm not supposed to talk to you like this, but I just want to say, consider the cost, please. I understand why pretending might seem like your only option. And who's to say, maybe you will be able to live successfully by keeping part of yourself hidden. But there will be a cost, not only to yourself, which you seem determined to pay, but to your future family, too. I've seen firsthand the way parents can turn an inability to face themselves into trauma for their children.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I can do. Thanks for telling me what you really think, at least. Even though it makes things more complicated. I was hoping I would just get your bullshit answer and I would go on, but now you've gone and said some stuff that really... Look, I don't know you, but I appreciate you trying to help. I don't think anyone really can, but... Are you gonna be okay doing this?
I'll probably get fired. It's okay, though. Don't worry about me. Think about yourself. Think about the future. There might be more options than you think.
Too long, sorry.
You know what I wish? I wish Elisa's made a rack mount version of the Andromeda.
Huh.
What's this you're talking about?
Sorry. The Andromeda was like a synth that was like just this real beast, you know? 16 voices with analog oscillators, analog filters.
Okay.
Go on. How can I describe it? It has this great fat American sound. Oh, I love it so much.
God damn it.
But the keyboard is heavy and hard to carry around. So I wish they put it in a box. Don't look at me like that. Yes, this is what I do all day. I stay inside my flat, buried in my synths and techno toys.
Kinky.
To be honest, it's been a strange feeling lately. Like, wow, this is really what I do for my living. I don't get invited to attend events and give talks much anymore. The industry moved on. They mostly ignore me now. The people I used to know, they don't stay in contact. I'm not useful to know anymore. It's like the establishment is a big bus pulling away from me, and I'm standing by the side of the street watching it drive away. But you know, I'm happy with this. I don't have to worry if someone is friends with me just because I work at Skanda. I don't feel this weird, oppressive hierarchy where people try to figure out where they are relative to you on a ladder when they first meet you. It's nice to be free of that, you know? I don't hold power anymore. I would never go back. Not to Skanda or any other big tech place. Not for any amount of money.
That sounds great. I'm a little envious, even.
You could join me. I want to make something big, a great big work of art, you know? I don't quite know what it's going to be yet, but I've got the ideas running around. Evelyn, what if we work together on it? I feel like we could accomplish a lot working together, no? Well, you don't need silly guys like Soren or Rainer. We should be building amazing things for ourselves, not for anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we should.
Right? It's a perfect match. Maybe we can make an installation. I have a friend looking for something to do with this warehouse space in Sodo that would be perfect for some kind of location-based experience. Or maybe I could make music, and you could come up with a visual engine that we could perform together. We'd have to come up with a band name. Oh, wait. I just had an incredible idea. Hold on.
Cheeseburger.
Okay, listen to this. What if we created an open source version of the Eliza core?
Oh my god, of course.
Get that software into the hands of the people where it belongs, not owned and controlled by a big company. That might make Rainer angry. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be hilarious,
Maybe the
actually.
Humanitarian Software Foundation would help us. Couldn't you see them getting on board with this idea?
That's an interesting thought.
Evelyn, being around you is really nice. You make me feel so calm, like everything is going to be okay. I know you have things to do and plans and so on, but whatever you decide, I hope we could still hang out together.
Yeah, I'd really like to. I don't know why we never did this before. Too busy, I guess.
Or maybe we weren't ready.
Ready?
People change. Situations change.
Well, I'm ready now. I'm sorry it took so long. Sometimes I forget there are people who care.
Evelyn, you could stay over one night. I mean, if you wanted. It doesn't have to be tonight, of course. Just if you feel like it.
Maybe I could. Maybe I will. Sometime.
Yeah, it's Fort Nora.
No, this will work.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Please be safe, Damien.
Of course I'll be safe.
Would anyone like to have more wine?
I think I'm good for right now.
Nah, see? See? There it goes. Fire. Agent of destruction and creation.
Something nice about a campfire deep in the woods, isn't there?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out here with me. I know camping isn't really your thing. Well, I mean, not Evelyn's thing, but I don't know about you, Nora.
Maybe a couple times. When I was a kid.
I thought maybe since we're in pretty deep on all the things we're working on right now, we could all use it. Because I used to, you know, when things got really bad, I'd come out into the woods and just be there. And it helped me, so I thought, you know, maybe it would help you too. I don't know if it'll inspire you or what, but if more people could experience something like this, you know, something with the same meaning it holds for me.
It is nice. Honestly, I've been doing all right. Better than before, that's for sure. Finals are soon, but I'm not too worried.
You know, Evelyn's got her dissertation to finish up.
Oh, how's that going, Evelyn?
Oh, Nora. Nah, I know. You know you're not supposed to ask how the dissertation is going.
Is that a rule?
Pour me that drink anytime.
Yeah, see?
Yes, let's have a drink. I'm still kind of freezing, even with this fire going.
Okay, this is delicious. You know, I've never actually had mulled wine like this before.
No? In my family, we always had it around this time of year.
You take red wine and add, what? Cinnamon, orange?
Yeah, those, and cloves, and, anise, star anise, and honey. That's it. Quite simple.
It's really warming me up.
That's what it's for. Ugh, so good. Evelyn, you doze off or something?
No, I'm awake. I was just looking at the fire. Kind of staring at it, I guess.
What do you see?
Everyone. People. Us.
I don't know what that means.
I think if we were going to make something to help people, it would be something that helped them see themselves. Something that reflected back on them somehow. Just a thought. It's probably nothing.
No, I like that though. Yeah, something to help you reflect. I think that's the right track. I'm really looking forward to working on these ideas with you two. And just as soon as all this nonsense with school is over. There's so many bad things happening in the world right now. But
I don't know, somehow, for some reason, I feel like the future is going to be okay. I don't know why, I have this feeling that we're the ones. We're the ones who are going to fix it. Not we, like, you know, you or me, but I mean, like, our generation.
Perhaps.
I think we will.
The important thing is to try. I feel like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to try.
Sometimes you get tired of trying. Well, at least I do.
I wonder what things will be like 10 or 20 years from now. You know, will we have achieved our goals? What would we say to each other? What would we say to our younger selves? The future we want, the future we're trying to create, did it even happen? Future selves, tell us if it happened, okay? Come back in time, just tell us that you made it happen, please.
Damien,
It's the wine.
it's more than just the wine.
I'm just interested in the future, that's all. My future, your future, humanity's future. Of course, right now, the only future I can picture is the headache I'm gonna have tomorrow morning, but...
No reason to worry about it now.
You know what, you're right. I'll have some more.
Of course.
I think I'm passing out.
Well, it is pretty late.
Good night, Evelyn.
All right, good night, Evelyn. Hey, I know you've been working hard, so have a good rest, okay? You deserve it.
Okay, we're going to start with the basic waveforms.
Who the fuck is bothering me?
An analog oscillator can generate several different basic waveforms, and each has a different sound to it. That's a sine wave.
Okay.
That's a square wave. That's a sawtooth wave.
Okay.
And that is a triangle wave. Kind of similar to sine, isn't it? That's it. Those are the basic types.
And, you make everything out of those?
Well, it gets more complicated quickly, but let's start with that. Okay, now that you have an output wave, you want to change the pitch. That's easy, right? It's the frequency of the wave. And then you have the amplitude of the wave. To shape the sound to make it more like a note and less like a constant tone, we can put an envelope on it. Let me hook that up really quick. So this module here is a standard ADSR envelope.
ADSR? You're going too fast.
Attack, decay, sustain, release. Very simple. The simplest kind of envelope, really.
I need to, like, write all this down or something.
No. You'll learn it in no time.
Nora, you just went through like 10 different concepts and I didn't get any of them.
Here, let me just put an envelope on this. And a filter envelope.
Nora.
Listen to this. See? It sounds like a musical instrument now. And all it is an oscillator shaped by envelopes and filters and driven by a loop sequencer.
Okay, but I don't know how you turn those beeps into that.
You just need to start playing with it.
But I don't know anything yet.
Yes, you do. You know the basics. Just start playing around. Come on, Evelyn. Try to experiment, okay? Pretend you are like a child and just do things. Don't worry about expertise or sounding good or whatever. It's supposed to be fun. So have fun! Track, everyone. It's the very first track ever by this girl right here. Everyone, let her know we want to hear more of her music, okay? Woo! You hear that? Yeah, what do you say, Evelyn?
I don't understand any of this, but I'm in love with it. Tonight, I'm in love with everyone, everything, even myself. I've never felt like this before, and I have no idea what I did to deserve it. But for the moment, I'm filled only with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for everything that led me to this place right here, this moment. Thank you.
Hey, that's the game.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good game. It's a shame that first guy died though. Kinda feel bad about it. I like that first guy had really good voice acting. But the raw emotions were like just insane. Oh, it's no longer night too. That's sick. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed. I'll see if I can like get more games like this. There's another game I have where, as far as I know, there's like a game I have that's like you're a taxi driver, but a corrupt detective blackmails you into solving a case for him. Or something. I'm not sure what the context is behind that, but I am gonna play that later. Right now I need some Jana in my life, so I'm going to League. And then maybe I'll put up with the fucking horrible storyline, which is Final Fantasy. We shall see. Alright, see you then.